Good morning. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I am here at 2666 Aberdeen Avenue in Los Angeles, and I am in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line for David Leventhal. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system, then, is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that would be underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I have begun my examination today from a 4-inch cleanout access over on the right side of the structure, just outside the kitchen patio area. It's a big 4-inch pipe sticking up about 18 inches, 20 inches out of the ground. And this is what's known as a two-way cleanout. So we were able to push back towards the structure, towards the kitchen area, and then turn around and run out through the sewer line down towards the public sewer under the street. Now I have gotten my camera to about 115 feet, which is where we're making the drop near the sidewalk to drop down to the depth of the public sewer and then run out into the street. And at this point I've encountered this blockage that I cannot get the camera through. The pipe itself was filling with water, and as I turned the water off, it did drain out slowly. Of course, it's kind of hard to see with that water dripping off the lens, but here's where we hit a blockage. You see all the roots and debris, what might be chunks of clay. It's hard to see what's occurring here. Unfortunately, I can't get the camera through it, and I can't see anything until it's cleaned. So we're going to need to perform the best cleaning service we can get through here. It looks like there may have been a partial repair here in this area. Yeah, that's still the clay pipe, okay. So this section is a vitrified clay piping material, which is very common for main sewer line systems. The pipe itself does have a long service life expectancy. Being a natural material, it's not expected to deteriorate underground, but it is fairly brittle in nature and does have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity and earthquakes. Now, the root intrusions at the joints of these clay pipes is fairly common, and normally we are suggesting that they can be maintained with regular sewer line cleanings. It's when they're left unmaintained for extended periods that they can create blockages in a system like we have occurring, but they can also damage the pipe and have need for repair. Now, as we pull back now, we're entering into an original cast iron section of pipe. Now, these cast iron pipes were expected to last somewhere typically in the 70 to 80 year range. I'm guessing this is original. It does have significant rust and scale and deterioration, and it does appear to be nearing the end of its useful service life. So we've got a number of different piping materials here in the system, as well as different methods of rehabilitation. As we pull back, we'll take a look at those. Now, most of what I've seen here does appear to be fairly substandard as far as the workmanship. You'll see what we're talking about as we pull back. Now, here is a short section of ABS plastic piping, and we've got roots coming in through this plastic pipe back here, where it transition that has had a lining system installed into a newer plastic pipe. Now, this is an area that should not be allowing roots. These lining systems are intended to seal up the pipe on the interior and prevent these roots from coming in. So you see the roots coming in around the liner, and then you'll see here the liner itself wasn't cured very well. I've got these bulges around the sidewalls of the pipe, like the lining system actually started to collapse some during the curing process. It may not get any worse, but the fact that we have these roots up here in this area is a concern. The pressure from those roots may further misshapen this lining system and create a much smaller diameter pipe for drainage to go through. Alright, we'll pull back. It looks like we've got 10 or 20 feet of the lining system. The rest of it looks pretty good back through here. About 10 feet of the liner. And here's another cleanout right here, about 70 feet in. This is exposed and accessible over in one of the planter areas to the left of the driveway as you're coming up. It's easily identifiable. And then we've got coming back into a clay pipe with significant root intrusion. Basically, we're not going to be able to see too well as we pull back through this system in several areas. So I was discussing earlier root intrusions at the joint areas being fairly common. This is a good example of a common root intrusion at a joint area that would typically be mobile. I want to continue pulling back here and show you the more significant root intrusion that's causing very poor drainage, a lot of debris buildup, and basically just making it impossible to see the wall of the pipe in areas. And we've got some cracking starting to occur around that joint. So an older pipe with stress on it. A minor crack such as that, if that was all we were seeing in the line, we probably wouldn't make any repair recommendations at this point, suggest monitoring it. But depending on what is found back through these other areas, after a cleaning is done, we may start recommending more extensive upgrades or repairs. Most of this section generally looks okay. Starting to get back up into those more significant root intrusions again. Alright, so we're coming through another section of cast iron pipe. This looks like where we've got a branch that ties in here from the front of the house. There's a powder room at the front left right corner, and then probably some of the upstairs piping. You see roots coming down through that opening. So it would be good to clean that area as well. Take a second look at it. Alright, so here we are getting into the area where we've got the significant root intrusion and debris buildup. It's making it impossible for us to see. And you can see here almost the whole inner area of the pipe is blocked here. Our camera was able to jump over the top of it. But this is definitely not a system that's functioning well at this point. So it needs to be brought back to a condition where it can actually drain normally. Remove these root intrusions that are obstructing our view, and perform a follow-up examination of the entire system, both the areas we can't see today and the areas we couldn't reach. So rather than reset to the basement and pushing through that 3-inch cleanout we found there to look at that short section, I did see roots coming down through that pipe, so I'm going to suggest that should be cleaned as well at the same time. And then we would want to look at everything upon the follow-up examination. I do suspect that there are going to be some fairly significant repairs needed on this system. Definitely the area that we can't see is a potential problem, but more importantly, we've got the areas where the substandard work was done. The lining system it does appear to be failing, and older section of cast iron, and potential breaks down further. So real quick, I'm going to turn the camera around. Structure here real quick. Got a branch line tying in there, and then we get back to the original clay that's coming out of this section. It generally looks pretty good, and this is we're actually making we're going backwards in the pipe, so we're not able to make this turn to the left. This would be where the pipe's actually exiting the building. And then we run into kind of an end run cap there. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and examination. I'm going to be issuing a written report that's going to describe all of my recommendations, which are going to be basically we're going to go with the hydrojet the entire line, probably snake out that short section from the basement, and then perform a follow-up examination so that we can really just provide final repair recommendations once everything's been able to be determined. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much.